Of late, I've been very keenly observing Rigathi Gachagua. Ladies and gentlemen, I honestly have to state it here that this gentleman understands the Mount Kenya politics. And it seems to be very, very updated. Whatever is happening, whatever people are saying, he's trying to do his best to align himself with the people of the Mount Kenya region. As we speak today, we all know that there's nobody who is facing it rough like Rigathi Gachagua. Goons all over for him. Attacks here and there with the tear gas, live bullets, plus many other things. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I've taken my time to analyze and point out some of the tactics that Rigathi Gachagua is using against the government. But before I take you through that, if this is the first time you're watching my videos here, take a second or two, subscribe, like, and comment, because that is the best support you can always give this channel. Ladies and gentlemen, without much wasting of time, allow me to dive into this topic here today. What is the first tactic that Rigathi Gachagua is using? He has simply done what you call dragging of the local leaders.
Today in Witima, ACK Church, a gang of us 15 police officers, rogue police officers, under the command of 2 bodyguards belonging to that guard Betty Maina, the women reform runner, converged at the Kamunyaka home of Eric Wamumbi, the member of parliament for Manera, in the morning for breakfast and briefing.
Anyone else might plan for goons for Rigathi Gachagua, either in the church, along the road, in the funeral, or anywhere for a rally. Now, for Rigathi Gachagua to ensure at least that he's safe, he goes to the MPs. He drags members of parliament to that particular arrangement. So he says that the people who have literally organized this here for us to be tear gas, for us to be beaten, for women to be beaten. And when he goes to a rally, he echoes it loudly. When that happens, that's a clear indication here, ladies and gentlemen, that Rigathi Gachagua knows the effect of such kind of sentiments, whereby he knows these members of parliament would be in fear. They are the ones going to be hated. So eventually they work around the clock to ensure that the kind of things they have been doing, they don't repeat it themselves. Why? If they happen, they get blamed. If they happen, they get blamed. So somehow they find themselves in fear that if again it happens, Gachagua is going to say it is me and I don't have a way to defend myself. So people are going to hate me. So please, William Ruto, please stop this from happening. So that's how they are going to survive. So in a nutshell, you can see that Rigathi Gachagua knows. You know, when we had the demonstrations last 2024, we realized that when we went to the individual MPs, the MPs now were in fear. They're the ones passing the bill in parliament. They had to come literally to the ground to apologize to the people, which is a clear indication that they were touched. And you know, that's the most supreme house that we have in this country. So the moment the member of parliament I went for individually, going for them individually, then now you're able to solve the problems of this country. The other thing that Rigathi Gachagua has done, it is spoiling William Ruto's influence. You realize that William Ruto travels to Nyeri, he goes there, conducts a rally, or maybe he goes there to the church, impresses people around, says good things, plus the leaders who are around him, including the cabinet secretaries, the governor there. Then now after 1 week, Rigathi Gachagua is there. He goes to the same place and he says the opposite of what William Ruto was saying, clearly indicating that he's reversing the thinking of the people about the William Ruto they saw last 1 week. So that is what he's doing right now. William Ruto anakuja anajenga, then Rigathi Gachagua comes and abomoa. That is what exactly he's doing, to ensure that William Ruto does not get any loophole, any place to enter with in Mount Kenya region. And it seems like Rigathi Gachagua knows what William Ruto is capable of. So he knows that huyo jamaa anataka akisonga na kanyaga hapa, akitoa mguu na kanyaga hapa till to the end. I think strongly that Rigathi Gachagua has some hint on William Ruto is. He is ensuring that William Ruto's sweet words do not really change the people's thinking. He knows that if the people decide to follow William Ruto, they will not manage to get out because William Ruto knows how to entice them. So there's a possibility that Rigathi Gachagua studied William Ruto closely, so he's ensuring that whatever William Ruto says is already destroyed before it gets into people's hearts. Another thing that Rigathi Gachagua is doing is to ensure there's what we call emotional unity within the Mount Kenya region. When something small occurs, it's owned by the people of the Mount Kenya region. Like now the attack in the church, Rigathi Gachagua has made it now, it looks like it's the entire Mount Kenya that has been attacked.
They later moved to Witima with the AK-47 rifles and tear gas canisters and descended on the church. They injured women and children and hurt many people.
That is important because now the information is all over that the church was attacked and the person who did it is this person and this is how they did it and this is what happened during the attack. Kids cried, women cried, others were screaming, there was those who were suffering and some of them fainted. So when he makes it this way, you realize that the people are turning against William Ruto day by day and getting closer to Rigathi Gachagua like never before. Lastly, when you realize that Rigathi Gachagua goes to the churches now and then, attacks also do follow him. There's a possibility that the church leaders are going to develop more attraction towards Rigathi Gachagua's side. It's now becoming very clear that the government is hunting Rigathi Gachagua even in the church. And the church is going to hate William Ruto more as they start loving Rigathi Gachagua. The reason being that now, when the attacks occur in the church, the people of the church will feel like this is disrespectful to us. When William Ruto goes to a church in Othaya, nobody attacks him. But now when Gachagua comes to us, we are getting attacks. And now they don't respect the church because they don't care whether tear gas or maybe gunshots are directed towards the church. So these kind of statements, when they move around, you realize that eventually people will start hating William Ruto. The church will move to Rigathi Gachagua more, support him, and ensure that at least in 2027, they are in a better position to have more elective positions for the DCP party. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Abel Moko in the comment section. Share with me what you think. See you next time.
Welcome to Humphrey's Hill House. Humphrey's is a boutique hotel located on Kionganyo Hill in Kisii town. We are just 2 kilometers off Kisii CBD. And the hill itself, Kionganyo, is culturally significant among Abagusi people. This is where our prophet Sakawa stood and prophesied that Getembe, which is Kisii town, will come up. And several other cultural activities used to happen on this hill, which included Ribina dance, where women met and danced and prayed for rains. Young men fought wars about marriage in this hill. So the hill is very significant. And therefore, in the design concept for this hotel, we have done what we call a hotel within a museum, where we have tried to collect, document, and preserve a lot of Kisii culture. So right from the gate as you come in, you'll see pieces of soapstone, the reception in our gift shop. Each of our rooms has a piece of soapstone that explains about some cultural event or activity. You go to our common spaces, whether it's in the bar, whether it's in the restaurant, there are carvings displayed all over, which have cultural stories and those kind of things. And then at the back side of the main building, we have developed a Gusii homestead, the authentic Gusii homestead with all the traditional huts. And this is where we want culture to be experienced as it was in those days. So the buildings have been done how they were supposed to be. The activities can be carried out. There are indigenous trees there. There are free-range chicken that are running all over. And it's a nice setup if you want to hold traditional weddings and traditional activities. And then next to it, we have an amphitheater that has a capacity of around 250 people, where, again, performances, both cultural and meetings and conferences can happen. As we endeavor to support the community and preserve the culture that we so wish it doesn't disappear. All in all, you're welcome to Humphreys, and we hope you'll be able to get an experience of the Gusii culture. Thank you very much.